Hi, in this session we are going to talk about the start menu and the taskbar, and we are going to dress this up a little bit and see what options we have. For the start menu, by the way, it's called start in my case. Default is menu, and that's already a change I made. You go to preferences, and here you can change the name of your start button. You don't want to take a very long name because there's not too much room, because then it'll just show dot dot dot. So that's all you want to do here, or should do here. In the options, you can um, define the width of the border of your start menu and the opacity. Well, opacity, I think you better leave it 100 because else it may be faded. And the border width, not that this is something very important, but this is the width of this blue border, and we'll get to the colors later. Okay. These guys you just leave default. Theme. Okay, here we have the blue border, which is this, and we have the red writing up here, which you can change to any color. If you want to change it, you just click on it, and then if you want to change color, you have to go to this little pin here, because else nothing will change. And you can change it to, let's say, this should be maybe over here. There should be some kind of a purplish. Oh, it's a blue. Let's go a little further. Okay, that's kind of a purplish. So you say OK, and you get this purplish, and then your headings will be in purple. Perfect. The background, you have two options. Either the background you set here. By the way, just that you know, white is apparently not a color here on this color wheel. So you want to remember that white is 255, 255, 255. So you can put this in here either with the plus minus, or actually plus in this case, or you can just write it in. And there's a color name also, FFFF. So far from white, because why? It's funny that they have no white on there. They have yellow. Okay. And the theme is missed because that was the theme we chose. If you do not use custom colors, then your background comes in this grayish, which is a matter of choice. The others come in black here, so you don't have too many options there. And next is applications, favorites, places, and system. Let me remind you what that is. Applications, favorites, well, you actually only see them when you click on them. Places and system. And there you can make settings. Applications again. The icon size I set to 50. It was originally, I think, 26. The hover delay, that's not really important. It's a few milliseconds. And you want the application comments, or, like when you hover over log file view or monitor system log file, was pretty obvious. But GDB packages, install and view software packages, that's maybe a little clearer. So you want to have this show application comment, show category icon here, and when you hover, you want something to happen. So when I hover from here to here or to here, I want those applications to change. Okay, favorites, number of columns. In my case, it's 2 because I set it to 2. But if you only want 1, that's fine too. I could set it to 1 because I don't have that many yet. So let me just do that for a second. So if I set it to 1, then all my favorites will be in 1 column. But if you expect to have more, and you want to have them immediately showing, you may want to go to 2 here, which is maybe more convenient. And again, the icon size I set to 50. Because those icons, I like them, and the icons kind of determine a little bit the size of your start menu, of course. But I don't mind. I mean, I have the whole screen. And then places. or the same routine here. Here you can have a scroll bar on the side. I don't think you need a scroll bar on the side here in places. There's nothing to scroll really. And you can make the height of the scroll bar. Well, that's when you make your start menu very, very small with small by eliminating a lot of stuff. For example, here, see, I took desktop out because desktop was one of those options here: computer, home folder, network, and then there was desktop and trash. So if I put desktop back in, so then you have computer, home folder, network, desktop, and trash. So you can, cut some out. But as you cut them out, the height of your start menu gets smaller, of course. So this is here. You can choose which ones you want to keep, which ones you don't want to keep. And down here, there's nothing to do. And in system, which is the last area, just to remind you, which is this area here, I took two out. The lock the screen, and log out, because I do everything via quit. If I go to quit, I have the option suspend, restart, cancel, and shut down. And now we want to cancel, and that's enough for me. I don't need lock screen or log out. I only need quit. And the others, of course, I left because they are important functions. So much for the setting of the start menu. Now let me go just a few things here in the favorites. If you want to set something into favorites, let's go into accessories here. For example, this character map you want in favorites. You right click and you say show in my favorites. Now favorites are programs that you use reasonably often, so that you don't have to search for them all the time. So we have now character map in favorites. And if something turns out to be not so swift here, you take it out and you say remove from favorite. Else you can, of course, launch these programs directly from here. So that favorites is pretty neat. But you don't want to overload it, of course. Now, programs you use all the time, you might want down here in the taskbar, and we'll get to that. So next step. By the way, there's this little icon here, which you may wonder what it is. Let me just launch a couple of windows here. This one and this one, just for that. It'll show you. And if I click on this little icon, it shows a desktop. It's a show desktop icon. Okay, so when I click on it again, they come, of course, back. So this is explained then. Now let me right click on the taskbar, and here you go to properties. I don't know why there they call it properties, here they call it preferences. Well, doesn't matter. General, you can set it to bottom, top, left, and right. I think bottom is the most practical. And here's the size. You may have been wondering why I have such a wide taskbar. Well, this is the size. Watch the taskbar, and I will increase the size maybe to 60. See, 105. That's a mighty taskbar. Okay, 55. 55 is a nice size. I thought it was nice, but that's up to you. Auto hide, you want to be careful with that. A couple of times when I use auto hide, taskbar disappeared, okay, but never came back. So maybe not. Okay, then let's go to background. Now, background is interesting. You can have none, just system theme. So then it's in white, which is a problem. For example, you see there's some white fields here. Like, for example, this is a control field of the program I'm using right now for the recording, and I can't see it. Oh, very, very, very hard to see. And you want the color. And then, see, then it shows up. Then these white guys can be much better seen. Now the color, again, you choose the color here, and you set it, to whichever color you want to have. And I found this aqua to be a nice color, but again, this is of course a question of personal taste. Uh, the, uh, the good thing is once you set a color, you have a little style slider here. Well, let me show you what that does. And look on the watch the taskbar. See, you can actually make it nearly disappear, and then you can actually set the intensity of the color. This is kind of cute. Okay, and you can use a background image. This is, but you have to have a very special image. Watch out. We're going to put a background image because I have a background image. It's this one up here. I just left it up here. And you're going to see it takes about this much of the image on the top. Now, most images don't lend themselves to anything because like this image on the top, it's all blue. It doesn't do anything. But this particular one is pretty interesting. When you use background image, watch out. See all these guys all of a sudden appear down here. I don't know. This is a little bit a game. I think solid color is the best, and choose a good color that shows everything neatly, but isn't too dark. Because if it's too dark, because this stuff is all written in black, if it's too dark, you may not be able to read the black anymore. So that's why I chose this aqua color, something in between. And if I think this is too much, I can I can play with it a little bit. And set it a little bit differently. Okay, so far for that. Now, how did my icons get into here? That's very simple. So it is very simple. Let's just take a browser. We know browsers are an internet. So here are my browsers. So I have Chromium, Firefox, and Opera, and Firefox and Opera are already down there. Chromium is not. So let me hone in on this one. You right click on here and you say add to panel. So right click on the taskbar, add to panel, and then you go here, not custom application launcher. You go here, application launcher, and double click on it. Oops. Okay, application launcher. Now we know it is in internet, and there's this itty bitty little triangle here on which you have to click that turns, and it shows all the programs that are on the internet. And we wanted Chromium, so you just double click on Chromium and you're already done. That's all. And your Chromium has appeared here. Now, if you ever want to get rid of it, you double click, you right click on it, and you just say remove from panel. Very simple. So just quickly again, you right click on it and go to add to panel, which is the top thing. Then you go to the second item here, application launcher, not custom application launcher, that's finagly. Double click on that one, and let's take one from accessories this time. Take one from accessories. Now, what do we want to take from accessories? Well, let's take the calculator. So you double click on the calculator, and you're already done. You can close, and here's your calculator. And then, of course, you can move them around to where you want, and that's good enough. I like to move them to the right side. Some people may like them on the left side. It doesn't really matter. Okay, as usual, there is a second method to actually do that and get your shortcuts into the taskbar, and that's even easier. But it has a little drawback. Let me show you. If you go to Start, and let's go back to Internet, and let's go to Chromium, you can just right click on Chromium and say add to panel, and that's all. Then it appears here on the bottom, but behind this icon for show desktop, the problem is you can't move it. It stays there. See, if you try to move it over here, it always reverts back. So there is no way to remove this. My dock shows up all the time. Now it flickers. So I don't know. I actually prefer this other method that I showed you, and you can choose which one you like. Whether you like them all here on the left side, then you might as well use that method. Just a few words here on the right side, the notification area. I set the temperature, which you can, and see it when I hover over it. It tells me clear sky, 64 degrees, calm, the sunrise and sunset. Okay, this is for my location, which you can set when you uh, don't even remember. Oh yeah, you have to somewhere some preferences, I think. Yeah, here clock format, panel distribution, so location and weather. Here you can set that. You can have it in Fahrenheit, wind speeds, kilometers. Doesn't really matter. It's your choice. And then the clock. Then this guy. This is my recorder, uh, which we'll need in a second. This is for whether your system is up to date or not. It tells you. This is also with a recorder. This is um, uh, the sound preferences. You can set your sound preferences, and this is your network. All the usual stuff. Nothing really too exciting in the notification area. Usually, when you right-click on these guys here, you can go to preferences, and you can make a lot of settings, which is the same as in Windows. Really, nothing too exciting. So let's close this session about the start menu and about the taskbar. And I mean, I'm an old Windows guy, but I came away very impressed because there's a lot more options than in Windows. And it's kind of nice. It looks kind of nice. It's really, really nice. So maybe you want to play around with it. Now I'm going to stop my recorder, which I do here. Okay. And we'll see you in the next